Advanced application of debt validation and federal statutes in credit repair. 1. Introduction to high-volume collection removal via legal compliance. Within a 60-day period, the strategic use of 2 federal statutes enabled the successful deletion of over 250 derogatory accounts from a consumer credit report. This process often draws skepticism due to its speed and efficiency, but it is grounded in enforceable consumer protection laws. Specifically, the methodology employed was the Guaranteed Deletion Debt Validation Dispute Method, leveraging the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDCPA. Footnote: this section introduces the case study and legal basis for mass deletion of derogatory items from a credit report. 2 Core Legal Framework, FCRA Section 623A, 3, and FDCPA Section 8078. Under FCRA 623A, 3, when a consumer disputes the accuracy of data furnished to a credit reporting agency, the furnisher must not continue to report the information without indicating it is under dispute. Similarly, FDCPA 8078 prohibits a collector from communicating or threatening to communicate information known to be false, including the failure to communicate that a debt is disputed. These provisions jointly require that the dispute notice appear on the consumer's credit report within 30 days of receipt of the dispute. Footnote: this section presents the statutory mandates that underpin the debt validation and dispute obligation. 3. The significance of certified mail in establishing dispute notice. To ensure legal enforceability, disputes must be sent via certified mail. This documentation creates the evidentiary record required to prove the creditor or collector received the dispute. If the 31st day passes without the notation "consumer disputes" or a similar phrase being reflected in the account comments, the creditor or collector is in violation of both FCRA and FDCPA. Footnote: this section emphasizes the importance of verifiable delivery for invoking statutory protections. 4. Dispute timing and procedural enforcement. Compliance with the 30-day reporting window is non-negotiable. Once a dispute is certified and delivered, the furnisher must reflect this dispute in the consumer's credit profile. Pulling a new report after day 30 without such a notice constitutes prima facie evidence of statutory breach. Practitioners should track this timeline precisely to build their case. Footnote: this section defines the critical timing framework for consumer dispute compliance. 5. Prioritizing collector disputes before engaging bureaus. Disputing with collectors prior to contacting credit bureaus establishes a proactive compliance trail. Collectors frequently fail to validate debt or reflect dispute notices, creating the legal pretext for deletion. Upon transitioning to the bureaus, the dispute strategy should remain straightforward and emphasize lack of knowledge or documentation on the part of the furnisher. Footnote: this section details a strategic order of operations for initiating disputes to maximize deletion potential. 6. Burden of proof and failure to validate. When disputing with the bureaus, the onus is placed on the furnisher to validate the debt. Most furnishers, particularly for low-value or aged accounts, are unable or unwilling to produce the requisite documentation. This failure to validate necessitates deletion under both FCRA and FDCPA mandates. Disputes should cite account identifiers and reference them as unknown or unverifiable. Footnote: this section explains the legal consequences of the furnisher's failure to substantiate a debt upon request. 7. Structured dispute letter series and escalation tactics. The guaranteed deletion method utilizes a structured series of 4 letters addressed to both collectors and bureaus. The first letter establishes the dispute and sets the compliance clock. Subsequent letters notify furnishers of their violation and demand immediate correction or removal. By the third letter, legal liability is invoked explicitly, increasing the pressure to delete the item to avoid litigation. Footnote: this section outlines the progressive escalation built into the 4-letter dispute series. 8. Use case: broader credit repair applications. This strategy is effective not only for medical or consumer collection accounts, but also for judgments, bankruptcies, repossessions, and charge-offs. The foundational legal principles remain the same. Furnishers must comply with the notice requirements or face removal. Proper application of these principles allows for sweeping removals across multiple derogatory categories. Footnote: this section expands the utility of the method to various categories of derogatory entries. 9. Consultation access and client management disclosure. While this method is replicable by informed consumers, professional guidance is available for individuals uncertain about the procedural elements. Due to demand and individualized attention, consultation availability may be limited. Clients are admitted from a wait list based on availability and readiness to comply with required steps. Footnote: this section explains the availability and structure of one-on-one consultations for interested individuals.